Joe Biden. President Maxwell, thanks for, good to see you again. It's good to be back on Drake campus. This is not my first rodeo on Drake campus. At least I don't have to run a relay this time. Is the mayor here? Frank, are you here? I was told Frank might be here, but anyway. Hey, good to see you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for the passport back into the city. I appreciate it very, very much. You got a great, great mayor. And Neil Smith, an old buddy, are you here? I got elected when I was in the Senate when I was a 29-year-old kid, 180 years ago. Back in 1972, and I spent my, when I got elected vice president, I also got reelected to my 7th term in the United States Senate, because you have a rule in Delaware: if you're on the ticket by mid-August, you can't get off the ticket, so you can't, so the party can't put somebody else in at the last minute if you're losing the race. And so under Delaware law, I was on the ticket both as senator and vice president. And I showed up to, I got sworn in for a 7th term because the Senate was meeting from January, I think, 3rd until the 20th and voting on some important things. And so the president, I thought I should be there to vote. And 3 days before it was time to be sworn in as vice president, I formally had to resign from the Senate in order to be sworn in the Senate. And there's a tradition in the United States Senate, both caucuses, Republican and Democrat, this thing called a history minute. There's a Senate historian, and they walk in on the luncheons, these Senate luncheons that each party has, and they say, this day in 1842, the following thing happened, or whatever. So the Senate historian walked in and said, before Vice President-elect Joe Biden leaves the Senate, I think you should all know that there's only, I think the number was, 13 people in American history ever served as long as he has. And I thought, oh my God. That can't be true. But the reason I bothered to mention is I've gotten to know an awful lot of members of the Senate. So I know. And the fact is, America is back. America is leading the world. The President and I, and my wife Jill and Michelle know, none of them were standing as we were about to go out to accept the nomination in 2012. We're all standing backstage being announced. And I think it was Jill and Michelle said, not one of us would be standing here had we not gotten help to get to college and law school. Not one of us would have been standing there. And that's the God's truth. That's the God's truth. None of us would have been. So, well, guess what? Last year we sold 21,600,000 automobiles. We are the leading manufacturer of automobiles in the world. And we're building the best automobiles in the world. There's no reason why we can't continue to grow. The sky's the limit. Healthcare. The reason I'm going through this is because these are all the things we're told we have to change now for your generation. We passed a thing called the Affordable Health Care Act. Suddenly, once and for all, the argument that every campaign was run against me because I used to say health care is a right, not a privilege in America. Like education is a right, not a privilege. Sarah Palin talked about the death penalty. You see how many of those are set up now, right? The death penalty we were going to have as a consequence. Every time there's a big conflict between the Congress and the administration, Joe gets sent to negotiate. It's like that old commercial back in the 90s where there's this commercial for Life cereal. And there's two 12-year-old kids and one little 6-year-old kid. And they're saying, that's Mom and Daddy eat that cereal. Is it any good? No, I don't know. Do you want to try it? No. And they said, and then they both turned to say, Mikey will try it. And look at Mikey, They're trying to get set up. I know I'm always referred to as middle-class Joe. In Washington, that's not a compliment. That means I'm supposedly not sophisticated in my middle class. But I know one thing. The middle class built this country. The middle class built this country. Because, ladies and gentlemen, when the middle class does well, the wealthy do very well, and the poor have a ladder up. And whenever given a chance, the American people have never, ever let the country down. Never once given a chance. So I think this is all about giving ordinary, hard-working American people a chance. Something remotely approaching a level playing field. An election where their voice is as prominently heard as people with extremely big backbones. They are fun, Democrats and Republicans. I'm not making a Democrat-Republican argument. There's just too much money in politics. God bless you all. Thank God to protect our troops. I appreciate you.